Good morning, children. Today we'll be studying Unit 5, Part A, and we'll be continuing the lesson A Havoc of Flood. Yes? So we studied how on September 28, 2009, there was heavy rainfall and many villages were inundated and many people were sent to relief camp. Yes? So people hurried to safer places, leaving their cattle, houses and properties. So many of the people, they just left the houses and they hurried to the place, to safer places, right? Now if you see in Kurnool, there were nearly 28 relief camps. Nearly 28 to 30 relief camps were opened in Kurnool to provide food and shelter to at least 25,000 people who were rendered homeless. That means who were not having home. Okay, many people lost everything they had apart from seeking the help of the army and the navy and the government. They hired the personnel from disaster management. So the people who are well skilled in disaster management, they were hired by the government, and response force from Arakonam in Tamil Nadu, that is a transport aircraft, that is 30 boats were brought into, that is with fiber glass boats were bought for the rescue management. Yes. So although the water rose to the roof level, people were not willing to leave their houses and were still searching for their valuables. So it happens, they were searching for their valuables. So when the flood started, people hurried to the safer places, leaving the cattle, houses and properties, right? They lost the cattle and the crops. So the crops also were destroyed. The roads, railways and bridges were also destroyed. So everything were collapsed. So, okay, the bridges collapsed and the roads were badly damaged. Yes. And the animals which were fastened to the sheds, they also were not able to move, and because of those the animals also died because they didn't know, the people were unaware of what was to come. So they were not able to set free the cattle, and the cattle which were tied to the sheds, they died. So many of the people, they stood just looking at their paddy field getting distracted, and which and the crop which was going to be reaped, those crops were distracted. So the damage, the bridges collapsed, and the railways were and roads were damaged. So the relief teams, the relief teams started coming, and they reached the flood hit areas. So whichever places the flood was hit, that places the relief teams reached, and they started distributing food, drinking water and clothing to the sufferers. So the people whoever suffered, they were given food, water and clothing, so that the people can be kept live in the safer places. So one of the sufferers of the flood was a widow. So a lady who was a widow whose husband died. Okay, that lady was the sufferer of the flood, right? She was a woman of well past 40, so she was above 40 years, right? She lost her tiny mud shack, that is a mud house. Mud shack means a mud house, which was a very small mud house, and she had to suffer for 2 days along with her 4 children in a roadside shelter without water and food. So for 2 days nearly she had to suffer along with her 4 children, taking a shelter on the roadside, and that too without food and water, right? And she had to watch her children suffer, not knowing what to do. So as soon as the relief members came, she just went to them asking for help, for rescue, right? And the woman's name was Rajeshwari, right? And The relief team brought her and her four children to the relief distribution camp. So when they saw the relief rescuers saw the woman on the roadside, they brought her to the relief camp, right? That is the relief distribution camp where she was given rice, blankets and other supplies her family needed. So they were which was organized by the relief camp was organized by the government of Kurnool, and they gave her rice, blankets and other supplies the family needed. So she felt that the help which came at the right time for her when she was very sad made gave her a lot of relief, and many private donors were moved on seeing her children. So they felt very pity on her children, and they provided the mother with some rice, that is the corn, and some pots and pans for cooking. So the private um, donation also came to her. They also constructed a temporary shed for her family. So the donors, they just collected money and they constructed a temporary house, a shed like structure for the woman and the four children to live. She expressed her gratitude with a beaming face, that is with a smiling face and a happy face, saying that she would always remain thankful for the help she received. So when people helped her, she said that she'll be always thankful for the help given by the people. So in the form of food, in the form of water, in the form of shelter, and in the form of caring for her and her children, right? Some private donors were moved on seeing her children, and they constructed a temporary shed for her family. She expressed her gratitude. Gratitude means what? Saying thankfulness, being thankfulness, saying that she would remain ever thankful for the help she received. Yes, so whenever we also get some help from others, we also should show the gratitude towards them. You should be thankful for the help we receive. Yes, children, we should never say that it was a duty so to help. So we should always be thankful for whatever things we get. So help always pays gratitude. So when we help others, God pays us gratitude in some ways. Yes, it is true that what we do comes back to us. So if we help someone, someone also will help us. Since both showing gratitude and helping others are so beneficial to our own happiness. So when we show gratitude, when we show thankfulness to others and we help others, it gives us happiness. So if you it can be a small help also. You just do one day and see. When you help someone, at the end of the day, you just think about how happy you are. So always when you get help also, you should be thankful for the help you receive, right? So what happen, your heart will be content and satisfied, and you will feel very happy. So always be thankful for the help you receive, and always help others when the to the for the people who are in need. So help people who are in need, and that will give you a lot of happiness. I hope you understood. Always be happy, children.